Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
It's Philly Joe and Kirby. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. 21 degrees already this morning, and it looks like that rain in the forecast will continue through most of the day today.
The rain's going to happen today. Good.
There's a threat of thunderstorms, yep.
I mean, not good. I mean, I'm sure there's some people out there with various events that are outdoors that are like, what? You know, good news. What are you talking about, Aubrey? But I just mean I saw the forecast and I didn't. I've got some new seed and dirt at various places on the lawn, and I didn't water yesterday because I saw the rain coming. All of this means very little to you two, but I just...
No.
I'm glad.
We're here for you.
I'm glad.
You have to listen to our problems all the time, so...
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think this is more weighed towards your problems than mine. I keep most of mine to myself.
Well, that's true.
Joe's not a
Try to
problem
do-
sharer.
I wish you did share more, honestly.
Yes, I'm sure you do, yes.
Joe, share more problems every morning when you come in.
That's what I like to be here for, though.
No, I'm here for you. And it's totally okay. I just kind of deal.
You just got a deal.
Not with your stuff, with my own stuff. I'm just saying.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Got something to say?
Okay, I'll say it.
Well, you should probably call the bone phone and let her rip.
It actually feels nice to finally say it out loud.
780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
I drive about 4,000 kilometers a week, city highway. Just wondering if there's a special class of license for Dodge Ram pickup drivers. Most of us have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm wondering if there's an A-hole class for them, or 99.9% of them. Unbelievable. Wake the hell up. I know you drive one, Kirby, or Philly, so 99.9%, I said. Have a good day.
Chevy Colorado, not a Dodge Ram.
Can you imagine me driving a Dodge Ram?
Yeah, I don't see Kirby in a Dodge Ram. I don't.
No,
I'm sorry, just the thought of me driving a Dodge Ram is hilarious.
it has to be the Super Duty or whatever size, if it is, right?
Oh,
Go
my
big and go
God.
home.
One
all
time
that.
I had to drive my brother's truck and it's like lifted and it has no running board to get up on. So you got to like run and jump and I ripped the crotch of my pants out.
You need some aggressive stickers on your windows if you're driving like a jacked up truck like that.
Yeah.
Okay, the hooligan wants to talk about teachers back to school just around the corner.
I always thought teachers had it made, all these, summers off, Christmas break, spring break, blah, blah, blah. So when the ex and I split up, our son was under 4, and I used to have Friday, Saturdays off. But when he started kindergarten, I went to work weekends, and I had Thursday, Fridays off. And I did a lot of volunteering in school, kindergarten, grades 1 to most of his elementary years. I would volunteer, Thursday, Fridays, field trips, etc. I'm telling you right now, even though as a volunteer, I put myself on stress leave at least 1,000 times. Oh, my God. The battles those teachers have, and it was so freaking stressful, even as volunteering when I would help out. Like, my God. So hats off to teachers. Actually, my twin sister's a teacher, and her husband. So you can tell who got the brains. My twin sister.
Twins.
And we learned a lot about hooligan in that. Okay, so he's got a twin sister.
Yeah.
And the divorce happened when the child was younger. Mm-hmm. And he liked to volunteer at school. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a part of a lunch program. I always thought that was my favorite part of school anyway.
Like hot lunch?
Like
Yeah.
help out, like volunteer, or be like
Yeah.
one of the students?
No, I think you got to volunteer.
So
Phil just wants to take part.
I volunteered once for like pizza day, like hot lunch.
Yeah. Was it not
And-
fun?
No, it was fun, but and this might have been just this particular Friday, but I got there and there was like 15 of them, all moms except me. So it was like, okay, I guess this isn't a dad thing to do. I don't know. So I was kind
Well,
of.
it's a dad thing.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that particular day, I was
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I'm the only dad.
One of these doesn't belong
Oh,
with the
my
other.
God.
But it was still a pizza lunch.
I got some pizza out of the
Mm-hmm.
deal. Okay, speaking of lunch, Vinny, looking for another possible lunch date.
Hey, what's up there, cats? Yeah, it's me again. I won't be calling the bone phone for a little while. This is probably the last one, but I was just going to ask these cats, when are we going to get together? It's still summer. I wouldn't mind meeting these cats again. I had a fun time. First time I met them.
We did.
I was slightly nervous, but then once they talked to me, they made me feel at home. Most down-to-earth people I met in my life, especially on a radio station. Yeah, but yeah, I wanted like to meet everybody. The hooligan and hot dog guy. What is it? The professor, Lisa. If I miss some names, I apologize. I just can't remember everybody's name. Like all the regular people, you know. We could have a meeting, you know, see if I get approved, then these cats, they, you know, accept me or tell me to beat it. I'm sorry. Hey, we need everybody's approval. Maybe.
Yeah. A lot of organizing.
Why not like certain people, the regulars? But me, I'm not a fussy guy. I like all those cats, man. All of them. Anyways, let me know if that's cool. These cats are extremely busy. And they probably don't even have time to eat. Anyways, I don't mean to ramble on. You take it easy.
Could eat while you're phoning somebody, I guess.
Vinny, you don't need anybody's approval, first of all.
No, but if we did organize something, this would be a big undertaking. I mean, look, you've got some people from out of town, for example, Big N, who's out of town, few hours away.
That's right.
Then you got the hooligan. Do you invite the hooligan? Yes, but he says he doesn't cross a certain part of the city, and now we're just finding out his sister's the smarter one of the two. So if you're bringing the professor, do you want the hooligan there or do you want his sister? Like, there's a lot going on here. And Vinny just wants to show up. Like, that's not much work involved. Like, we got to create a committee.
I have a funny feeling we're going to meet a bunch of them at possibly the Berg.
Oh, yeah.
Berg block
Guilty's
party.
there for sure.
We know we're going to be hanging with Guilty.
Oh, boy, Vinny.
That's the bone phone.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Man, the text line is busy this morning. 762-555. Great way to get in touch with us, communicate with us. Played Nutshell by Alice in Chains about 15 minutes ago. It would have been Lane Staley's birthday today. Got this one. Good morning, PJK. I have to say thank you for playing Alice in Chains, and specifically that song. You played it at the perfect time for me to drive through the gravel roads with the perfect pink sky, made for a picture-perfect memory moment.
A lot of those coming in. So great choice, Phil.
Yeah, it was a good song.
This came in about one of the bone phone calls about aggressive merging. And this was just got to add my 2 cents about aggressive merging and how I'd rather have someone merge above the speed limit and properly fit themselves into traffic than have some jackass holding up the whole exit ramp because they don't know how to perform a key skill of driving.
Yeah.
There isn't much more frustration than somebody stopping, waiting to get like a lane or two over on a merge because they really don't have the confidence to move forward when there's a lot of traffic behind them.
See it all the time.
Good point.
Yep, you see that all the time. That overly cautious driving. And then on the topic of birds, because seagulls the past couple of days, Kirby loves seagulls. It's
they're cute.
One of her favorite things. If she could have a pet seagull, she would.
Well, I
like
wouldn't
3
go
or
that
4 of them.
far.
She wants like a flock of seagulls on her balcony. But
Great
anyway,
band, by the way.
So Joe and I have been like, seagulls are not cute. That's been sort of the discussion the past couple of days. Got this, and then blue jays came up. I said, like a nice bird, like a blue jay. And someone says, a blue jay is not a nice bird. They are mean to other birds. If you see a blue jay in your yard, you'll likely not see another bird nearby.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. I'm going to have to think about that. I get quite a few blue jays in my area there in Charleswood this year for whatever reason. I will say this about seagulls. If you do get a pet seagull, remember one thing. They're like the relatives that just flock together. So, like, if you have one, they're all coming over. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
seagulls
yes.
don't hang by themselves. When have you seen a lonely seagull?
Not usually.
No, those things.
They're highly social. They They have social lives. They got friends to see and relatives and.
Is this you comparing them to your life now? Is that what's...
I just think I have a lot in common with seagulls.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Do you eat
Except
out of
for the garbage
do you
part.
eat-
Yeah.
But they're good for the ecosystem, okay?
I can't tell you how many times I see you with a party of like 200 around you, like the seagulls.
You
Eating
know
out of the
what?
garbage.
And you said you like to eat alone. You're not a seagull.
That's true. I don't fit in.
Also about pigeons. Someone said they're flying rats because pigeons came up.
No.
Yeah, flying
No,
rats.
literally, pigeons are beautiful. In fact, one landed on my balcony one day, and I will never forget how excited I was because it was someone's pet. It was, it had a thing on its foot.
Put up
A tracking pigeon or whatever they.
Put a bird feeder on the balcony. Why? I'm surprised
Yes.
you don't have one.
That's actually a
Yeah.
smart move. She's
Yeah.
got 2 cats though.
yeah.
You're gonna
I
drive those
remember-
cats crazy.
I was having the birds flying into the window, and I was finding them dead on my
That's
balcony.
rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
A lot of them will fly into your window and then just get up and fly away a couple minutes later. Like
After
they're just
they
stunned.
clear concussion protocol.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
When you're the best, you do things with style. JJ McQuade is the best.
What?
He's a lone wolf lawman in the Lone Star State.
Joe.
Oh, boy, you made that tough.
There are very many combatants that could rival the one, the only Bryan Mills, Liam Neeson from Taken. But let me tell you something. Chuck Norris, JJ McQuade, Lone Wolf McQuade is more than a formidable opponent.
Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, okay? He pushes down the earth.
Yeah, Kirby, he does.
Yeah, and you know I'm a big fan of Lone Wolf, too. Wow, this is going to be tougher than I thought.
Bit of the tail of the tape, Bryan Mills, former CIA operative. Seems like someone in his family gets kidnapped every year. I don't know who these kidnappers are and why on earth they would target Liam Neeson's kids and family.
If you talk to an actuary, they say the odds are almost impossible that it could happen 3 times in 3 different movies, and that people would be that stupid enough 3 times. Like, look at the guy's LinkedIn account.
Oh, my God.
Lone Wolf McQuade, JJ McQuade, Chuck Norris. He's a former Marine. Of course he is. He's a Texas Ranger who prefers to work alone. And as Kirby put it off air, the dude has a hairy chest.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I haven't seen the guy without a shirt before until I had to find a graphic for our Thursday Throwdown picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is like a rug, like a shag rug.
Funny you used the word rug because he has one of the best in Hollywood on top of his head.
I'm going to be honest, he's a very hairy man, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can't control that. I understand.
Body hair is manhood. Are you kidding me?
But he does. He has one of the best hair pieces in Hollywood history.
Looks sharp.
I don't know, man. The jokes, the Chuck Norris jokes were like so big when I was in high school.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah. Well known.
So you're taking Chuck Norris?
No, I'm gonna take Liam Neeson, Joe. I'm gonna take your man.
Okay.
Because I, first of all, Liam is just intimidating AF. Like, honestly, like it doesn't. A phone call with that guy, I'd be terrified.
I would love to see Chuck and Liam on the phone. That like trying to intimidate each
Right?
other over the phone.
Yeah, but it's really tough now, and I thought it was going to be an easy one. But I'm still got to stick with Liam Neeson and Bryan Mills, and I'll tell you why. When you start a conversation with, I don't even know who you are. Like, I don't care how many times I hear that clip. I'm going to keep listening. That is one of the most intense phone calls. You don't even hear the other person on the other line. And the guy gives you basically his resume on the phone to basically telling you you're going to get your ass whooped when he does find you. Like, I don't care how scary of a person you are. You're not expecting that kind of feedback. You're expecting money. And then the guy tells you he doesn't have money. But he's got this set of skills.
Oh, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you what, he might not know who's on the other end of the phone, but he damn well is going to find out quickly when it comes to JJ McQuade.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one, but I'm still going with Bryan Mills. There was 3 takens. There was only one Lone Wolf McQuade movie.
Wow.
As long as JJ doesn't make the ultimate mistake, like kidnap one of Liam's kids, and I don't see him doing that, he should be okay. I'm taking Chuck Norris. I'm taking JJ McQuade in this matchup.
I can't even blame you. But so it's JJ McQuade against Bryan Mills.
That's right.
Those characters. Because sometimes it's hard. You got to... Okay.
Throwdown Thursday, Bomber tickets. We've attached Bomber tickets to it.
On top of it.
So you go to the 92.1 City Facebook page and weigh in, or you can send us a text and weigh in that way. Either way, you're in the draw for the Bomber tickets. 762-555.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
You know, Kirby, you brought something up off air this morning, and I was like, yeah, like you see a lot of that nowadays. For example, my kids, well, mainly my youngest, eats Kraft dinner. It's not really Kraft dinner, but, macaroni and cheese, and it's Cheetos brand macaroni and cheese. So it's like a combination KD, Cheetos, and he loves it. It's very rich, like
cheesy.
Very cheesy, like orange, like the color of it.
Yeah,
it's
Cheeto orange.
Yeah, I'll eat some. Inevitably, if it shows up in a pot on the stove, my wife made it for my son, I can't walk by it without taking a big spoonful.
Right.
But I'm not making myself entire boxes. And the reason you brought this up, Kirby, is apparently we're seeing some new wave of mergers between different brands.
Yeah, they're calling it like mashups, like, where two companies will put together like their products, like Phil said. And I have yet to try that mac and cheese, by the way, so I'm going to have to give it a go.
Yeah.
It works in music. Why couldn't it work with food?
Supermans.
Listen, would you say the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup was one of the first collabs when they put chocolate and peanut butter together? I mean, no name brand, of course.
Right.
But you're talking name brand stuff.
Yeah, like I really didn't expect this one to be a thing, but so Coca-Cola and Oreo have teamed up, and they are going to launch a beverage and a cookie collab. So the cookie will taste like Coca-Cola, and the beverage will taste like an Oreo Coke, basically.
Oreos, Oreos are, you're not going to have someone, rarely anyway, say, I don't like that, it's got Oreo in it, right? The Oreo Blizzard at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
100%, but I'm just wondering about the Oreo Coke. I can see because they've done cherry Coke and other flavors.
Yeah.
Vanilla Coke.
Yeah, you got to wonder about
Like an Oreo flavor.
Coke. Yeah.
This one is a mac and cheese collab, so kind of like the one that you mentioned, Phil, but this one's with Kraft Dinner, and it's KFC as well. So it's going to be the original recipe flavor mac and cheese.
You know what? I have chicken fingers all the time with mac and cheese. So I could probably try that because it would have that flavor.
Yeah.
Less calories, I guess.
Yeah.
Without the real chicken.
You're making me feel like a big crunch sandwich for lunch now. That's an investment.
Good idea.
Halfway through, I got to wipe my brow from sweat. I went,
oh, man.
What a chicken sandwich.
And then the last one that I saw was the pizza chain Pizza. They are teaming up with Tabasco, like the hot sauce company, and they're doing a bunch of items on their menu with Tabasco.
Now, Joe, I know you're not a dip your pizza in a sauce kind of guy.
No.
A lot of these pizza franchises now, when you order a pizza, they'll upsell you or ask if you want a dipping sauce with that. I like the dipping sauce
too.
with
Do you?
pizza.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dipping sauce?
Something habanero ranch. I don't know. Give me that one.
I was just out in Alberta a couple months back visiting family, and the first thing I do is got myself a Panago pizza because we used to have that chain here, and they were known for their dips.
Yes, they were.
And I, like the cheddar dip and the jalapeno ranch. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
No, the most you'll see out of me is I'll drizzle some hot honey sometimes on a pizza.
That's a huge thing nowadays.
And I'll even do that with chili oil. I'll drizzle it on the pizza. There's no dip factor in that.
It almost sounds like you were raised in an old school Italian household.
Darn right I was.
Is that true?
The West End of Winnipeg.
I've never heard that about you before.
That's it. It's in my LinkedIn profile.
From the mean streets of the west side of Winnipeg.
If you've tried any of these items or there's something you'd like to see, a food collaboration of some form, you can always let us know. The Boston Pizza text line 762-555. That's PJK Extra.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Listen, it's early, but I'm a little, the results desk here. What's the guy from CNN? John King.
John King.
I'm a little surprised at the early results here, so heavily in favor of Bryan Mills, Liam Neeson, Thursday Throwdown, Bryan Mills versus JJ McQuade.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned earlier that Bryan Mills' name was just kind of a nonchalant name, but I think it works for that character, just because that's who exactly these criminals are dealing with.
Well,
somebody they think is just, your normal everyday guy.
Until they get on the phone with them.
Until they get on the phone, first of all. And it's not usually the way it works. It's not usually a phone. You just get that can of whoop ass opened up on you. And that's why it was so intense. But JJ McQuade sounds like the starting quarterback at the University of Alabama. When you call him
That is
Lone Wolf,
true.
when you call him Lone, yeah, and he's dating the,
Right.
the head cheerleader, JJ McQuade. But you hear Lone Wolf McQuade.
Yes.
All of a sudden, that changes the dynamic. But I think because Chuck Norris did so many movies of that genre, you know what I mean? I think it dilutes the character of a Lone Wolf because he had so many great characters. But Bryan Mills, 3 movies.
Yeah, and people are all over like Bryan Mills saying too unpredictable. Those skills are too special.
Yes,
like people
too
are
special.
Well, the thing is that JJ McQuade has, like, his skills are more like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, legit hand-to-hand combat.
And Bryan Mills is more like of the intelligence. And, like, he's not, I mean, he does fight.
Yeah.
But he's like
Cerebral.
Yeah, he's more,
So let me ask you this. How many characters of that level, because these two are legends, right? JJ McQuade and that. But Bryan Mills, I think the difference for me is he tells the guys that he's got this set of skills. If you don't believe me, test me. Most of the movies,
that's intimidating in itself.
It's just action. Like you find out the hard way.
Well, that's the
He's
difference.
giving you a warning over a phone call.
That's why another reason why I'm taking JJ. He's not giving you a warning. I just watched clips. I was watching clips from the movie in preparation for this. And there's a scene where JJ McQuade walks into a dinner party. The guy says, "This is invite only, sir." Norris doesn't ask questions or dig around for his invitation. He beats the hell out of the guy and throws him over a table.
That's just a maitre d', though. How tough is most maitre d's? He's not a bouncer, is he?
No, he wasn't.
That's a bouncer. It's a maitre d'. That guy's just working for tips. Okay?
He got a tip
Took a
on
guy
it.
out. Bryan Mills is calling the restaurant and telling the guy that he doesn't care if it's an invitation only. He's got a certain set of skills, and if he gets down there, so he's even warned the guy.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of my dad. Like, you know, it's like that intimidation. Like, I'm going to give you a warning if you don't, you know, if you keep this up, young lady.
Yeah.
Your dad reminds me of John Wayne. That's a different day for a different legend.
we're
But
gonna
that's what your dad reminds me of.
We're going to bring
That's
him
his
out.
idol. Are
The
you
Duke.
kidding me?
Is it? That's
My
what he reminds
entire
me of.
household basement as a kid was like a shrine to John Wayne.
How do we not call her dad Duke?
I could see, next time he rolls
Can
in.
we call him Duke?
Crazy.
Oh, he'd love that. So I could smell like a Charles Bronson versus John Wayne. Someday. But today,
sorry.
look at that bare chest. Kirby, you did a great job on the picture at the 92.1 City
Yeah,
Facebook page.
it's-
You cannot bet against that chest. That's just my opinion.
Well, Liam Neeson's holding a phone and a gun at the same time.
That's
Okay,
tough.
that is a skill in itself.
Never thought we'd get into the physical look of these two great characters, but if that's going to play, Bomber tickets are up for grabs.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I don't know how this came across my desk, but I thought it was interesting because it involves food. We love talking about food here, but it involves pregnant women. 2/3 of the women that took this survey, 2/3 of women said they craved this while they were pregnant. So 2/3 of women craved this when they were pregnant.
Okay.
Well, that's a high number.
Yeah, 2/3.
780 City, 780-2484. Go ahead with your guess for Burt Block Party tickets.
I'm going to ask for help from Kirby.
Kirby? Anybody in your world that's been pregnant and you've had to bring a friend over something?
Yeah.
What are you bringing?
Pickles.
No, pickles is not on the list, but I've always
Really?
heard ice cream and pickles.
It's something about the salt content, I think. It's like
Sweet
the
and
sodium
salty?
yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I'll take ice cream off the list here, too, because it's not on here either. So that'll save somebody
Okay,
a
that's
guess,
gonna
okay?
help. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, right out of the gate. 2 notable items that you would think pregnant women would crave off the list. Good morning, City.
Hi.
Hi there.
One of the things I craved when I was pregnant, I never did it. I never drank it. It was the smell of beer.
Beer? No,
Yep.
not on this list.
Now, was that because you couldn't have it probably, too, in that factoring in, eh? Like, I want a beer.
Absolutely, but I would smell it all day long.
Oh, thanks for playing.
Thanks.
780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Morning. Is it chocolate?
No, not chocolate either.
Might be a higher percentage than 2/3.
That could be it. Could be the same thing with pickles then, Curbs. Could
Yeah,
have been a
maybe.
higher number. Even like 2/3 is a huge number, but
Hi there. Go ahead with your guess.
Let's go with Philly.
Philly, you've probably been through this a couple of times, eh, with two boys?
Yeah.
Did your wife have cravings?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'd have to run out and get stuff. I'm going to go, like, peanut butter, I believe, was in the mix. In some way, shape, or form.
It's not here in the top 5. But I've seen that on a list before.
Mixed with something weird or just peanut butter?
I want to say peanut butter and toast. Like a lot of toast with peanut butter. Burt Block Party tickets up for grabs. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to go with a lifeline. I'm going to go with Kirby this morning, please.
Kirby, 2/3 of women said they craved this while they were pregnant.
Come on, Kirby.
I'm just trying to think of things my girlfriends have told me about.
I feel like it was 15 years ago for me, and I don't remember what any of them wanted.
I've heard about spicy things. I'm going to go like hot wings.
No, but you're on the right track.
Oh, hot wings.
As far as spicy.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Nothing to do with chicken, okay?
Okay.
It's the spicy.
Spicy's on the right track. Hi, City.
Hi, I have a guess.
Yeah.
Dirt.
Dirt?
Dirt.
Nope.
That is something that women do crave when they're pregnant. It seems weird, but
Dirt?
there's something to do with like some vitamins lacking or something. I don't know. It's just same with soap. A lot of women will get like a craving to eat soap. Like
really?
it's weird, but again, pregnancy.
Yeah, not on this list anyway.
No, I can't. Hey, you can't beat a dirt and soap sandwich every now and then. It's delicious.
Hey, I'll give you number 5, sub sandwiches. It didn't say anything about dirt. But 5, you're there. Soap sandwiches either.
Hi, City.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, you?
Good, thanks. How about spicy nachos?
How about nachos?
All right.
Oh, nachos.
2/3 of women said they crave nachos while pregnant. I'll give you the rest of the list real quick. Steak was number 2. Pasta, apparently carbs. And maybe that's where the beer thing came in, carbs. But pasta was number 3. Then grapes, apples, and certain types of fruit made the list.
Interesting.
And then sub sandwiches.
Other than the fruit, my cravings are a lot like pregnant women's cravings.
Yeah.
Nachos.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta.
Hey,
my mom said when she was pregnant with me that she couldn't eat meat. She'd get sick, which makes a lot, like the joke is that I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So she wasn't surprised.
Okay.
I'll tell you, that sounds like a day at the keg, though. I'll go for nachos as an opener and then a steak.
And then a steak.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
$300 GC for Shoppers Drug Mart on the line this morning. We're doing this all week. The three of us will give you a product. We throw it in the cart as if we're shopping together at Shoppers, which would be quite the experience. And then you got to tally up these 3 products and give us the price before taxes and not the sale price. The actual price.
Even though they have a big sale going on right now. That's the whole idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you text your guess for the price to 762-555. We always get a lot of people who get the right answer, and we chuck you in the randomizer. I'll go first. Irish Spring. You know I like the Irish Spring. 5-in-1 body wash for men.
What is the 5 components? Please tell me.
Well, I knew you were going to ask that, Kirby. The 5-in-1 body wash for men is a shampoo, a conditioner, a body wash, a face wash, and a 24-hour deodorizer. Bang, you're done.
Wow, they even included the deodorizer in there.
It's almost like that car wash you go through the gas station for $14.99. It's got it all. You buy the ultimate or the ultra.
I just want the rainbows.
How great is that? Women got things all over the shower. You go into a guy's shower, it's that. A bottle of Irish Spring.
They really figured it out.
5-in-1, just sitting there by itself.
Damn right they got to figure it out. It's nice to know that the same face wash is crawling down your butt crack. Okay?
Well, thank God for that deodorizer. Okay, well, I am going to add to our cart the Apple AirTag 4-pack. The AirTag item trackers, the 4-pack, because I'm going to give one to Philly and one to Joe for this weekend at the Burt Block Party.
Well, you'll be looking for mine in a garbage bin. I'm not wearing that.
You can't ditch it.
No way.
I need to know where you guys are at all times.
Yes. What are you going to do with the extra one then?
Well,
You got
I don't
4
know.
of them in the pack.
Iron Mike. Oh, probably Angus. You'll probably pull
Oh,
one on
Angus,
that's
yeah.
your buddy.
You got to track
That's your
Angus
buddy.
down.
He's your number
Yeah.
2 buddy. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, Joe, what do you got?
Well, because of the Burt Block party and your idea of the air tag, I'm picking up the Advil Muscle and Joint Extra Strength one size package of pills. Advil
For that hangover.
Muscle and Joint Extra Strength. It comes in one size.
Okay, so that's Kirby mentioned hangover. This isn't for a hangover. This is for your joints.
Yeah, muscle and joints. I
Okay.
might just
Oh.
take a couple before I go. It's just,
Preventative.
preventative.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.